everyone, and welcome to this episode of Pardon Your French podcast in partnership with Coppercock Distillery. I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we're here today celebrating our anniversary.
Yay! It's such a big moment, and I can't quite believe it. It's literally a year since Pardon Your French podcast went live, and it's gone so fast.
Yeah,
I feel.
But I also feel like when the anniversary came up on our Facebook thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, wow, it's been a year. But then I was like, oh yeah, it's been a year. It's been quite a year. I was thinking on the drive over here, just like all of the things that we've learned throughout the year, not just from our guests, not just, podcasting in general. It's like the things we've learned about ourselves and about how to run a podcast, about how to find the time and stuff like that. That I feel like that's probably our biggest struggle this year was like making sure that we put aside the time, because it's a hobby. At the moment, it's a hobby.
Well, so it started off as, let's just turn on the camera and the mic and see what happens. And for shits and giggles, really, just because I never got to see you enough. And I thought, well, this is the way that I could get to see you once a week. So very sneakily, but it worked.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I thought it would just be us two having a laugh and no one would listen anyway. But a year later, I can't believe that it's in 59 countries, 419 cities, which is phenomenal, because the stats show that most people that go, oh, let's start a podcast, after 10 episodes, they're done and they quit.
Yeah.
And this is now episode 47.
Yeah, I think so.
That's phenomenal, the fact that people actually tune in. And I can tell you, because once you've edited it, I upload it. And before I'd even posted the announcement on Facebook that a new episode is live, it's getting downloads.
Yeah.
So people must get notifications to their phones going, because obviously they subscribe.
Yes.
A new episode is live. And I'm like, oh my God, I love the fact that people just, as soon as it's there, tune in.
Yeah.
So they want to hear what we're talking about or who we're interviewing, which is incredible. And the feedback I get wherever we go, people love it.
Yeah, it makes me super nervous when people are like, oh, I know you from your podcast. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, I'm like, that's not me. It is. It's totally me.
It is totally. It's always you. But it is weird, because I always think you upload it, it goes into the abyss, and you think nothing of it.
Yeah.
And then when people go, oh, do you know what? I learned this from that podcast, or I know Sarah, who you interviewed last week, from doing the gardening. And I'm like, oh. Yeah. And, it just kind of brings it full circle for me that actually what we're doing matters, what we're doing counts. And I think for you and me personally, that the personal growth that we've had in the last year is being great.
Yeah, it's huge. Like I was saying last night, so I just turned 40. Woohoo. And we had a birthday party for me.
Yeah.
And I ended up having another birthday party with friends that weren't in town yet for the one that we did on the Wednesday. And so it was just this really like incredible community. And I looked around and I thought, yeah, okay, like a year ago, I probably wouldn't have had these people in my life for this party, but we've made such a huge effort to like get out there and socialize and spread the word that, living in France as an expat, as an immigrant, it's hard, and it's something that you need community for. And we have really put our money where our mouth is, and gone out there and done it. We've done the social circle events, which have been a little bit more difficult this year, or it's good in winter. It's one of those things that it's going to get people out in winter.
Yeah.
Once season starts and we both get really busy, these are things that we're kind of still learning to navigate as far as the podcast goes, even as far as finding guests to come on and finding time, even if we're just going to do this, the two of us,
Yeah. But I think what I've noticed is like when we first started, it was like, ooh, who could we talk to? Like, what would their story be? Who would want to listen to these kind of chats? And then all of a sudden, it's gone from us asking and inviting people on to people seeing us and going, I want to come on your podcast to talk about my new business or my journey or put some valuable information or, you know, loads of, or just topics that are very interesting and great to have. But the information that it provides is fantastic.
Well, it's universally helpful. I've met a couple of people in the last 2 weeks that have been discussing like potentially moving out here in time.
Yeah.
And they were just kind of saying, oh, I don't really know what's it. And then their partner is the one that wants to move. And they're going, oh, no, it's fine. It'll be great. You'll love it. And I've been like, oh, this is really helpful. Yeah. And I hand them, and I'm like, I feel shameful handing over a business card. It's like totally advertising my podcast here. But this is what we're here to talk about. We want to give you a bunch of different voices. So you're not just listening to our experience. You're listening to the experiences of people who've done it from all walks of life, from all age groups, because that's how you can kind of figure out where you're going to fit. You know, are you bringing your 15-year-old son? Are you bringing your new husband who's never been to France before? You know what I mean? So it's
what to expect. And the reality, is your expectations. I think are incredibly important. And I was on the phone to my mum the other day, and she went, "Oh my God, you're 5.5 years there now." And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Would you ever come back?" I was like, "No." And she was like, quite shocked. And I was like, "This is my home. This is always where I was meant to be. I just didn't ever expect to move country. Now I have. I would never change it." And I would say 9 times out of 10, the people that we talk to or that I've met along the way would never want to, not I'm saying England's bad, but they love France and the area, the people and the lifestyle so much. Wouldn't ever want to change that, which is fabulous. And then obviously we went on our first girls trip to Manchester.
Oh my God.
Is that February?
For the Brits. We were in Manchester for the Brit Awards.
And he had, an incredible time. But I don't think we did an episode about like the whole thing. But I felt like a complete tourist in England, and I was so overwhelmed by the noise and the amount of people and the caravan, and the buses freaked me out. It doesn't take much, but and as soon as we landed back in Limoges, and we were in your car and we were driving back, I could feel my nervous system just breathing, because it'd been in stuck survival mode, I think, those 3 days. Obviously I was nervous about what I was doing and all of the apprehension, but even after actually that Saturday and it was all over, I was still nervously wound up, and it was definitely the environment.
I mean, it's hard, like, even because I'm not English, you'd never been to Manchester before. And when we were there, it was even like trying to figure out what we were going to eat, where we were going to go. Whereas like here, you've got 1 or 2 choices. Over there, it's like you're walking past places, you're like, oh, that could be good, could also be bad. You're looking at reviews, you're like, good review, bad review, and you just think, how do people choose? They don't. It is literally like a coin flip all the time. I mean, we did also overface ourselves by, walking down the high street at the peak of shopping day on a Saturday. So it was super busy, and Brit Awards, so there were loads of people in town. But I mean, it was hilarious because you and I could not even get into our hotel room because that's how old-fashioned we are. We're like, do we get a key or... They're like, it's the app. And we're like, we don't want to download your app. Just give us a key that works in the door. I mean,
people don't take cash anymore.
No cash anywhere. Oh, no, you could get at the newsstand.
Like, do you take cash? Like it was a bizarre thing. But so obviously England's moved on a lot since I've lived there. due to technology. But the hustle and bustle,
Yeah.
people with their heads in their phone as they're walking, I found very bizarre.
Yeah.
Because people just don't do that here. And they're a lot more one-to-ones, sociable, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I set out my comfort zone, did something I never thought I would be doing. And actually from doing that, I realised that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's exactly, because as soon as I got on stage, I kind of took a breath and I was like, oh, this is exactly what I'm meant to be doing. This is exactly because I never found a career that I wanted to do or I found joyous or interesting. But it wasn't because I was sat next to Jasmine or I was being filmed. It was the talking and telling a story or listening to a story and actually the interaction with other people.
Yeah.
That's where I felt completely at home. And I unwound it all because I went through my school report. And in all of the reports, every single one, it just said Stephanie would be great academically if she learned not to talk so much. And I was like, oh, well, that's what I want to do for a living. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, you did amazingly, because the nerves, I mean, you were so nervous getting ready and stuff, and it took ages to get ready because you were so nervous. And I was nervous for you because I was like, this is so strange, because I didn't expect you to have the nerves you did. And then you got on stage and I was like, who's this person that I have not been spending the day with today? Like, it was like somebody flipped a switch and all of a sudden you got comfortable in your own skin and just did it. And you did say it was because Jasmine looked you in the eyes and she puts you at ease, but you are good at it. It was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing to watch the transformation just from even the moments before you stepped on stage when we were joking around about how to hold the microphone and stuff like that. But
ever got that video of me looking like I'm doing something very rude?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he was telling you not to do rude things to the microphone. So they were like, don't you have just a clip-on one? That's what Vanessa's eliminated that risk by clipping one on. But the other thing that is that really was highlighted for me about that experience was how different living in the UK is from living here, and how much it's changed even since you moved here, how much busier it is. Like, in the years that I've been going back, it's busier and busier every time I go back. And things have really changed a lot since COVID and stuff like that. And I think what we're doing with the podcast is we're actually highlighting for people who think it's going to be very similar. Yeah. They think that we all went through the same thing and that, yeah, okay, we want a more rural life, but we still can go to the store and get help for this, that, and the other. And it's like, no. You can wait for an hour to get somebody to talk to you, and then you can be told, no, we don't do that. It's illegal.
Yeah, that's quite common. That happened to me.
But yeah, just like not just the pace of life, but everything about the UK was so different. And you just kept, like, when we went shopping, you were like, I can't believe they don't know that they're lucky to get these things. They can just walk into a store and buy this.
Yeah, and bought sandwiches and Paul and Chris. It's like, you were asleep and I was in Tesco's at 8 o'clock in the morning buying prawn sandwiches, Chris. And then I was in Primark buying like new clothes, and I was like, this is so amazing. I loved the convenience, but I also was like, I could completely be a consumer, and it's a very big trap to fall into.
Yes.
And I get overwhelmed in my brain with too many options. So, as you know,
I watched it with purses.
Oh, yeah. So I went into TK Maxx, didn't I? And they had so many handbags and I wanted them all. And I was trying to find a plan of how I can bring them all back. And then I had to go, well, then none of them are going to fit in my suitcase. Then I had a bag in my handbag already. I was like, this is ridiculous. I can't do anything. But even at the airport, I found that very overwhelming, the amount of noise, the amount of people. And I am the most innocent person. I never commit a crime, but they obviously looked at me and were like, who is this? With my lashes on and my stupid fake nails. And they were searching me, weren't they? And they drug swabbed.
Yeah. I mean, we both had like our feet.
Oh, yeah.
You put your feet in the big sheet sensor. But yeah, it did take you forever to get through security. And I'm just like, should have worn the sweatpants. One of the joggers.
And some like Crocs, not on them.
No, never Crocs. Never Crocs.
And so like last time I went on an aeroplane is when I went and worked for Camp America. And I think I was 19 or 20. So that was the last time that I'd ever been on an aeroplane.
Yeah.
And then I got proper like patted down and put in a machine with like air thrown at me. So travel, I decided, is not my favorite.
Not air traveling
to do.
Yeah.
But I definitely do want to do some more traveling. So I must be more prepared and get more efficient at doing that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm a definite country bumpkin, so I always kind of get overstimulated in cities anyway. I was the one who was supposed to be responsible for us because you were like, where's this? And I was like, hold my hand, we're crossing the street now.
I think you did at one point, didn't you? Yeah. It's like, what is it like? What's this Uber thing? Who are we waiting for? We gonna get kidnapped?
Yeah. She was like, how is this Uber working? How do you know where he's taking us? I was like, it's on the map. It was also my first experience using the Uber app, but I know about it. It's just that we don't have Uber here. But yeah, I mean, and it just swings back around to the podcast and how much we've shared and how much we've learned and the guests we've had on and how, where they come from.
Yeah.
And what we've talked about and how none of those things particularly overlap with what your life would be like if you lived in Manchester. Like if you're moving from somewhere in the UK, even a town in the UK, here, you have a lot to learn. And that's what we want to do is help teach you these things.
Yeah, and take the easiest route.
Yeah.
I think would be great. So we just wanted to do a list of, obviously we've had some incredible guests on, so we just wanted to do a quick thank you
to them
all, including Sarah, Sharon, Giselle, Davinia, Carol, Lex, Alex, Matt, Stefan, Jade, Andy, Natalie, Annette, Jasmine, Amy, Tanya, Melisandre, Siobhan. Just all of you have actually kind of gone, oh, okay, and taken the plunge.
Yeah.
As a lot of people have an idea that it's going to be terrifying. Not just because of us, because they're going to be on camera or they've got to have a mic and then they come here and they're like, oh, it was like having a chat with you at the pub.
Yeah.
And it is. We make people feel really at ease.
I do. I mean,
I don't know if I do. I think I do. We don't force, we're not like journalists. We don't push certain ideas or perspectives or intrude on your personal sort of life.
And you can say whatever you want. We'll just edit it out if we don't like it. No, just I edit it. So she's just like, what about that bit where she's no, I've taken that out. It took us off on a really weird tangent. So
but it's even like from the editing and how we record on a Tuesday, the episode goes live on a Friday, and how much work it's taken you to from when we first started to then be able to edit it really quickly.
Yeah.
In the sense of, oh, we've done it and it's only a few hours out of our day to record an episode. But obviously when we do like a social circle, it's a lot more work that goes into it. But for me, when we started the podcast, it was just me and you just chatting shit and filling our day. To them going to the social circle, that was a big step up the ladder for me, because I was like, well, people are donating their time and their musical talent. That's incredible. And then we got sponsored by Lex and Linda from the Copper Cock, and we were like, well, that is lovely. And then to see the Pioneer French podcast on their beer mats and things, And people had tuned into the podcast and then were buying Copper Cop gin
Yeah.
because they'd heard it on the show. I was like, that's another 5 steps up the ladder, because a lot of people, when they think about doing these kind of things, may dream of hitting these goals
Yeah, totally.
quick, way before they could have got there.
Yeah.
But we dig in, don't we, every week, and we're consistent. And I would say we are.
I think one of the things that we've learned, I mean, we were really, really consistent in winter. Like I was saying, when we've got the time, we were really consistent about doing it every week. And now, I mean, it is tricky when you've got
Like Carter's on
half-term holidays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we have become less consistent on the every single week, you know, going every other week. And, you know, when I've mentioned it to Lex and Linda, and they're like, yeah, but it's a lot of work to do every week, to come up with a topic, to get to schedule somebody, because we're not just working with our own schedules, which are sometimes conflicting, getting a guest on, you know, we set up quite a few times with guests that then, you know, something goes wrong with them, like a kid gets sick or, you know.
We've had to
somebody
work it. So, but because this is so golden and I am such a vision person, I know where this is going, and I have a 5-year strategy plan. Whether you're in it, I was like, or another 4,
no idea.
Like check out, but
By tomorrow. No,
it's so on that basis, and how incredible it is, and how much people love the brand, and the conversation behind it, and the reality of it. I'm gonna pack up this house and move to Ribeiraq. So I'm going to be 10 minutes down the road from Vanessa. So it's a huge investment. But because I believe in it so much, I'm quite happy to up our lives and move, you know? So
again,
thank you for listening, because it is generally changing lives and impacting us personally.
Yeah.
And the people that listen that have gone, oh, actually, that was really informative. I'm going to do this differently now, or I'm going to look at it a different way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you know that we've made that difference. And then when people come to the social circle and give up their Sundays, and they come every time because they want to be a part of it, I'm like, I cry quite often about the podcast, which sounds really stupid, but I do, because
Tell me that.
I don't tell anybody that. Well, I've told you all now. But because I messaged you that day and we're like, do you want to set up a podcast? You just replied and went, if you want. Pretty much. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, but from day one of us filming in my little Jeep, we didn't know how to set up the cameras properly, the mics, or how to edit, even the software to edit. And I remember having that conversation with Steve in the kitchen, and he just went, for God's sake, just press go on your phone and start, because I found a billion reasons as to why to wiggle out. I was a bit of a perfectionist, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to look stupid. And he was like, so I have realised
there's not much you can do about that.
But I am absolutely willing to pay whatever the cost is to achieve my goals, and it's looking silly, and I look silly all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't take it to heart. I'm not wrapped up in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care. So we're on the right road.
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
for that. But I had these moments when it was your birthday party, and I looked around and I was like, obviously I've known you 4 years now. But most of the other people at the table, apart from a couple, I didn't know a year ago, and I only met through the podcast.
Yeah.
Because they were all the incredible musicians.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've got a whole social circle now that I never had if I didn't start this social circle. And obviously when I moved to Ribeiraq, I'll see a lot more of them. But even in my head, I was like, it's your 40th birthday. This is incredible, because you were at my house for my 40th birthday, and we're doing karaoke. And what milestones that we've hit along the way. and Carter sometimes goes, oh my God, if we didn't move to France, we never would have met these people.
Yeah.
Or he'll go like, oh, we live in France. Like it just,
Yeah, it clicks with him all of a sudden.
and it's like, yeah, mate,
We do.
we did it.
Yeah.
And I think being able to wholeheartedly go, we did it, is amazing. And, you know, I have big goals for where the podcast is going. And I won't share them all with you now. Just we need to put them all into place.
But we've got some really incredible guests lined up for this year already. People who have approached us.
Yeah.
About coming on, which is super awesome. Like, if you want to come on the podcast,
And if you
totally let us know. And if you live far away and you want to come on the podcast, but we can do it through Zoom like we did.
Carol
with Carol.
we can see you. That's not a problem. If you've got some insights and knowledge, you want to share your story.
If you want, if you still haven't moved to France and you're thinking about moving and you want to come on and just have a chat and be put at ease about it. I mean, there are a bazillion reasons we can come up with to get you on the podcast with us, and you are more than welcome to join us.
Yeah, we'd love to.
We're having a good time.
We are, and that's it.
Yeah.
Every week we laugh.
Yeah.
Every week you send each other weird voice notes, or I sing at you. Yeah, so I do. No, I'm not going to apologize.
So I did get an interesting Monday morning voice note.
What was that?
I just said, how's your Monday? And you were like, oh, I hate Mondays.
Hate Mondays. They're the worst days.
Yes, Monday.
Yeah, you'll get one of those if you do message me. So be prepared. But yeah, I can't believe how far we've come, but I'm so excited for where we're going as well. So thank you to every single one of you that has ever listened to an episode and shows up every week for us. We really, really appreciate you more than you'll ever know. So we want to say a big thank you for celebrating this year's anniversary on Your Friends podcast. And stay tuned because we've got lots more interesting stuff and funny collaborations.
Yep. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.